Hello and welcome to the Daily Scripture Podcast. My name is Jerome Lavelle, and I hope that you are having a glorious day today. Today we will be looking at the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verses 36 through 38. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging and you will not be judged. Stop condemning and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and gifts will be given to you. A good measure, packed together, shaken down, and overflowing will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you." Today in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verses 36 through 38, we hear Jesus talking about mercy. Unlike jokes that we might hear or tell, this passage begins with a punchline. Jesus tells his disciples, "Be merciful just as your Father who is in heaven is merciful." So, if Jesus is telling us to do it, what is being merciful or full of mercy? The word mercy derives from the medieval Latin word merced or merces, meaning literally price paid. Mercy is a disposition to show kindness or compassion and the avoidance of punishment of one party by another, even when that punishment is called for by justice and or is within the aggrieved party's ability to execute it. So when Jesus tells his disciples to be merciful, he's telling them to forgive, to show compassion, to execute kindness toward those who offend, despise, conspire, and act against us. Here, Jesus is giving us the rule. However, in the next paragraph, he gives us the reason. That is, that we too do things that offend others, that we too require mercy and grace by our brethren as we live our lives. He says, "Stop judging and you will not be judged." He says, "Stop condemning, and you will not be condemned." He says, "Forgive, and you will be forgiven." He says, "Give, and the gifts will be given back to you." He is saying what you put out into the world will come back to you. Kindness, joy, love, empathy, forgiveness, patience, truth, warmth, care, and the like. What you put out into the world will come back to you. Just before our verses today, in Luke 6, verse 31, Jesus says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." The beautiful golden rule, so well known, but perhaps not always so well followed, certainly by me at times. In reflecting on my takeaway from today's gospel, I'm hearing Jesus today remind me that the world is like a mirror. What I put out into it is what I will see reflected back to me, with 2 points. Number 1, I control what I send out into the world. And 2, when something reflects back that needs my mercy, forgiveness, and compassion, that I'm not to judge and condemn. Rather, I am to give and forgive. That I am to be merciful just as my Father in heaven is merciful toward me. Thank you for joining the Daily Scripture Podcast. My name is Jerome Lavelle. And remember, our word of the day is mercy. As a reminder, if you're interested in a transcript of this podcast, you can find that on my website, JeromeLavelleMusic.com. Well, until next time, be well and be blessed.